Hi, this is Josh with Backyard Valley, Arizona. We're doing something a little different today. Behind me here is an essential oil distiller. What's in there right now is orange peels. This is our first time doing this. Me and my wife decided to go ahead and buy this distiller to distill the herbs and orange peel that we have coming from our garden at her parents' house. These orange peels are actually from the oranges in their front yard. I didn't plant those trees, but or tangerines if you want to call them. But what we're doing here is we're doing it through steam distillation. Water. The reason it's orange like this is because these were actually frozen when I put them in there. I shouldn't have done that. Learning process. But anyway, water boils here. It goes through it goes through the orange peels, pushes the essence or the oil out. It goes up here into this condensing tube. And then you can see the steam in here. And then right here is actually a tube inside a tube. And we have cold tap water, which is actually surrounded by ice water, running through here to cool this outer tube. And then it cools the inner tube to condense the steam back, and then it comes down here and collects here. And then if you can see here, I don't know if you can see on there, there's this tiny little film on top. That's the orange oil. What's here is called hydrosol. And hydrosol is a mixture of water with trace amounts of the orange oil, and it's like impossible to get that trace amount of oil out of the hydrosol. Oh, and then you can see coming out is the hydrosol right there. That's the runoff, and then the oil catches on top. And see, now there's even more forming. This is actually distilled water, because those of you that live here in Arizona know that our tap water is horrible and full of minerals and chlorine. So it would leave a lot of residue in here, and you don't want chlorine vapors to come up through here. So we're using distilled water. And then what we'll do is, after about 15 minutes, we'll come back and see how much oil we have on here. It takes between 15 and 20 minutes. You'll get the most amount of oil you're going to get out of what you got in here. But we'll come back in a little bit and we'll see what we got. Okay, so we're back. It's been going for about 15 minutes now. And you can see, this is, since it was frozen before, it's a little more smushed down, but you can also tell it's not that orange anymore. It's more of a yellow orange. That's because the color is faded. It's pulled a lot of its essence out. And you can see here how we just had this tiny little line before. Now, look at that, all that cloudy stuff. That's all essential oil. And so we're going to let this go for another like 20 minutes. That's probably the most we're going to get out of this oil, this amount of oranges here. And then we're going to shut this off, let it sit for 5-10 minutes. Any of the residual oil that's coming through here and all that bit, let it condense, and then we'll bottle it. We'll show you that when it comes to that point.
Action.
Okay, so we're back for our final time. This has been going for a little over half an hour. I've shut it off, so it's not really going to be steaming anymore. I can actually turn this off now. So, now that it's done, this is the oil that's left. That's all come down. This is all we're pretty much going to get out of this batch of the oranges. And you can see here, this is the hydrosol. It looks a little cloudy, but again, that's because there's trace amounts of that in the water. It smells like oranges. And then you can tell that you're done because this looks like just almost regular water. That's how you know when it's done. When it's not cloudy anymore, you're not pretty much are not going to get any more oil out of it. So that's that. Now what I'm going to do is this little spigot here. It's got a tiny little hole in it. When I turn it, it's going to come out. So this cup here is to catch that excess hydrosol. And I gotta do it very carefully, and this is the first time I've ever done it, and I don't want to lose that oil. very tricky. Almost. Oh, see, there's that hydrosol that's still up here. Sorry. And then we want to get it all the way down. There. A little bit more.
Cat's trying to move, cat.
And so, oh, a little bit of the oil came in.
Well, in the videos we watched, it said to let a little bit of oil so that you know there's no hydrosol left.
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, I could... Ah!
Oh, water's...
Sorry, yeah, water's leaking out. What I could do is I could pour this into there, but... Oh, well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Lesson learned. So, we're going to take our flask here, and then catch the oil. And that's it. And so, if you can see it in there, this is a 1 ounce bottle, so we got almost 1/4 of an ounce of orange oil out of that much oranges. Now, if this
orange peel.
Orange peel. And when you do, if you're going to do orange peel, you want to make sure you get as little of the white as possible, because that's bitter. And you don't want bitter, unless you want bitter oranges, but that's what it is. So that's that. And we're going to put this on here. And there we go. That's